nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side.
Everyone, this is your host, Maria Duenas with the Entrepreneur Soiree. And today I'm super excited. I don't have a guest, but I'm just excited to share with you guys my last conversation with the one and only Tim Storey. Now, for those of you that don't know who Tim Storey is, he's a world-renowned life coach. And when I tell you, I mean, he is like beyond amazing. And I don't even know what proper words to use to describe him. But I mean, that man just transmits peace, even through like Zoom meetings that we have, but if you ever have the pleasure of meeting him in person, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, because everything around him is just like a sense of peace, a sense of that everything's going to be okay. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in and share with you guys with some of the stuff that I've actually been working on, and a little bit more about my takeaway with my one-on-one with him, which I mean, sometimes you're thinking like, well, I already knew that, but maybe you just needed someone to kind of help you and allow you to see things a little different. But the point here is you already know the answers and you already know what you need to do. But sometimes we just need that other person to like reassure you and confirm that, yes, Maria, that's exactly what you need to be doing. So long story short, let's just say for the past 20 years of my life, right? There's been thoughts in my head that let's just say, I know that in my heart, deep down inside somewhere, it says, Maria, you need to, pursue your real estate agent career your career as a real estate agent. Okay. And for those of you that have been following my journey for the last couple of months, that's exactly what I have been doing, alongside trying to learn different ways of how to implement like what I'm currently doing as an event planner, and doing a little transition into the real estate world, but also trying to be like this life coach, right? But obviously I can't do none of that with the proper training, just like I have been able to get this far in event planning. I mean, it's because of my 15 years of experience, trials and errors, and again, educating myself, understanding what the newest trends are and things like that. So at my age right now, I mean, and I shouldn't even say like I'm old, because I'm definitely not old, but I'm just saying like at this point in my life, I'm trying to venture out into new opportunities that I know feel right in my heart. And it's just been like that I've just been having like going back and forth, like, what should I be doing? Am I doing the right thing? But still not letting go of what I truly love to do, which is my passion for event planning and design, because that is what I know truly like makes my heart happy. And I just enjoy it. Like, it's a stressful job. It definitely is. But it doesn't matter to me. I just love every challenge that comes our way. So as I'm trying to figure out what path and direction and how am I going to accomplish all of this and just make it like this seamless, transition or incorporation, I should say, because it's not like I'm leaving one thing for another. I figured like I need to get educated and need to be talking to the right people. So I figured, you know what, why don't I reach out to one of the best coaches out there? I said, because this is me talking to myself, like, how am I supposed to know, how I'm going to go from A to B and then C if I don't have the proper training and I don't even know where to start. So anyway, so I've been working with Tim Storey, and just, the tools and techniques that I've been able to walk away with are just like mind blowing in a sense, but it's nothing, like I always say, it's probably nothing like we've never heard before. So we're having this conversation, and he tries to, and he takes me back all the way to kind of when I was growing up, my childhood, and then going to high school. And then what did I do after high school, and kind of just walking him through what my life has been in the past. And as I shared some of this stuff with you guys before on different, subjects that I've touched, but I didn't grow up, let's just say, in the most positive environment. We did live in a neighborhood where hearing gunshots was kind of like the way we went to sleep. And gang members probably like in every corner. Sometimes, literally, I remember this one particular incident where my neighbor, there was a drive-by and my neighbor was outside and his friend got shot and killed. And this is like next door to me, right? So then you start thinking like, this cannot be everything in life. Like there's no way that I'm going to grow up in this neighborhood. I mean, and there's nothing wrong if, you're living in that neighborhood right now. The problem is when you decide to settle and you decide and you think that this is all life has to offer. So I think that's where the problem could be, and it can get a little tricky. But I knew from a young age that that's not the life I wanted to live. I knew that if I ever, got married and had children, that I wanted to be able to provide my family with like a nice, healthy home environment. I mean, my parents separated when I was 17, kind of like when I needed them the most. They weren't there. I've always learned to survive on my own, obviously. And thankfully, I've always had my mom who has been there to support us. But it's just like you felt like, yeah, she's there, but you still have to do this on your own because everyone under the same roof is trying to figure it out for themselves. So anyway, long story short, reminiscing and going back into what my childhood was when, I was becoming a teenager and things like that. I remember always trying out for things and never making it. I was that girl that tried out like for the color guard and didn't make it. I mean, I couldn't move even to save my life. Then I knew, I was like, well, maybe what if I tried gymnastics? So there you go, having my parents take me, to classes, and I couldn't even do a damn cartwheel to save my life. Besides that, I was like, oh, well, maybe I could be a model. Maybe I could be an actress. And then I would go to these auditions. And for the most part, like growing up, there was always something wrong with me. If I wasn't too dark, I was too short, I was too tall, I was too fat. There was always something. And eventually I was able to kind of make my way through, and I did end up doing some modeling stuff that felt good and I was very proud of. And I was always wanting to be kind of like in that entertainment lifestyle. So I did. I actually ended up doing that for a bit, and it was fun. But I knew deep down inside, again, if I ever wanted to start a family, that probably was not going to be the lifestyle that my significant other would probably be okay with. Why? Because you're always away, you're always gone, and you're really never present, or at home, I should say. So anyway, I was sharing this with Tim Story and trying to understand, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what is my real purpose in life? And trying to combine, how I grew up in and the environment and how I always felt about myself, because I was, in situations where I just could never make it. And it seemed like I was never good enough. And I was barely, okay if someone did decide to work with me or give me the opportunity. Like, I always felt they probably gave it to me maybe because they felt sorry for me or whatever. But that did not feel right. That never felt right with me, because I knew deep down in my heart that I had and I have so much more to give. And that whatever that one person or company or, audition was not going to determine how I was going to live the rest of my life. Or maybe obviously I would be lying if I told you I didn't feel like sad and like, will I ever make it? Or like those thoughts of doubt going through your head. But I had to educate myself, and I had to educate myself in the way where I understood that it was those situations that have allowed me to get to where I am today in life. I've always been the type of person that wants to help. And we were also discussing this with Tim. I'm sorry. We were discussing this because everything that I've ever done in every job, in every situation, it's always been working with people and helping. Whether I was working for the nonprofit organization, I was working out in the community, or whether what I'm doing now, which is event planning, but I'm still helping people. I'm creating beautiful memories. I'm helping solve problems. I'm connecting people. When I was working in the high school environment or the school setting, because I did, high school and college level work, it was always trying to help people get to the next level in their life, whether it was trying to help them get a job, whether it was trying to apply for a grant or just get into a particular school. It was always being resourceful and helpful because I lacked that. Growing up, I didn't have that. Growing up, it was kind of like you're on your own. I still remember when and we were getting ready to graduate senior year, all of my friends were getting asked and getting pulled into their counselor's office and saying, hey, so, what plans do we have? What colleges are we going to apply? That conversation never happened to me. That conversation was something that was never a part of me. And I even felt, and I remember even conversating with my friends, well, I'm going to this university and I'm going over here. And when I was asking myself, like, should I be saying I'm going somewhere? Like, even though I know I'm not right now, like, it made me feel once again, Maria, like you're not important enough, I should say, for people to take the time and try to help you out and help you figure it out. I remember my mom saying, well, if you want to go to school, you can go, but just know that we may not be able to help you financially. Thankfully, I was able to get financial aid going to the community college, but then I ended up getting a scholarship to go on to Cal Poly. So I was extremely blessed to walk out of there with like $0 in debt. Like, so that to me was like the greatest blessing ever, because here I am, this person that no one really ever talked to about going to school, being committed to, 2 years and then 4 years. It took me a little bit longer, but I stayed committed. And that's one thing that I've learned to do. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, no matter what, I'm going to do it. Whether it rains, whether it pours, it doesn't matter. And Tim was helping me see that. He was like, you are a leader. Like, you are a leader and you don't even know that. Like, that was, something that stuck into me, because I really have never heard anyone tell me that. And it's not like you really need someone else to tell you, because what you feel in your heart, like, if you know, but it's nice to hear someone of that caliber to say, Maria, like, I'm interested in working with you. Like, I can't wait for you to finish your training with us so that we can see how we're going to work together. And that to me says, like, Maria, like, give yourself some grace. You're doing amazing. You're doing better than you could have ever imagined. And it's not measured because of money or what you have materialistically. It's just, if I take inventory and see where I came from and to see where I am today, I mean, it's a world of difference. It's a world of difference. And he has been able to help me see that and see, like, Maria, like, we're going to get you to be able to fulfill your real purpose in this world. And not only are you going to do that, but you're going to dominate the industry you decide to go in. Obviously, there's still work that needs to be done, but that is who I am. And it's until now, like, at this stage in my life, that I'm getting comfortable saying that I'm saying, yes, Maria, you will do A, B, and C, whatever that is, you will do it. And you will not only do it average, because I am not your average typical girl. You will go above and beyond and you will succeed. But see, in order for that to happen, it took me a while to believe that that's exactly who I am. And that's exactly who I am meant to be. So we did this exercise, right? And I'm going to take a quick look on my side notes here that you guys can also do to kind of just take a quick inventory and see where are you in your life. And like I always say, I am far from perfect and I don't intend on being perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I definitely just want to be better than what I was literally like yesterday. So he was asking me like on a scale from 1 to 10, and like you guys, like I said, you guys can do this at home. Where are you spiritually? That's one thing I love about Tim, that almost everything he does, teach has a spiritual aspect to it. And I love that. Mental clarity. Okay. A lot of the times we don't know where our minds are because there's so much information being fed to us. And if it's not coming from the people in your direct environment, it's probably coming from television, social media. But is it what you actually need to be feeding your brain to be able to help you get to the next level in your life, right? Physically, how are you doing physically? Are you in good condition? Do you exercise? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes? I mean, I don't know. What is that looking like? How are you going to get better if it's not like in a good or great shape, or if we're rating it from 1 to 10, right? Like if you're at a 5 or you're at a 4, like what are you going to do to get yourself back on track? So to make sure that we can bring you up to, let's just say 7, 8, or even 9, so that you can be properly functioning. Truth be told, if you're not okay physically, then it's going to be hard for you to be able to do all these other things because you're just going to get discouraged. Naturally, that's what's going to happen. In your job, like, how are you doing? Are you just showing up to show up, or are you genuinely enjoying the job that you're doing? Are you challenging yourself every day, or are you just following orders and taking orders? Because I remember I at some point in my life when I was working from somebody else, or for someone else I should say, that was probably me. I was probably just barely making it, barely doing the bare minimum so that I can go in, get paid, and move on, right? Because at some point, my heart was no longer invested. It was wanting to be somewhere else. I had these thoughts, and these thoughts have always been in my head, like, Maria, if I could only explain to you like what's in the center, like of my heart and my chest, I don't even know how to put it into words, but something amazing I know is going to happen in my life. And it's just been a culmination of a lot of things that have gotten me to this point to feel this way, where now I know like there's no going back, and I'm not going back. I'm going forward, guys. So you guys need to stay tuned for that. Financially, how are you guys doing? I'll be the first one to admit I was very irresponsible way back in the day with my money. I had money, I made money, and I would just like burn it like it was going out of style. Then I realized maybe that was not the smartest thing to do, but why did I do that? Because I was ignorant. I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I would be that one person that would never pay their bills on time because I just didn't feel like it. I was just like, I'll pay for it when I pay for it. $35 monthly fees, for not paying on time, no problem. I would let them rack up. So it's just my ignorance, going back to how dumb I was. And I was just like, yeah, Maria, that's probably not going to work. Thank God I quickly had to learn that if I was going to learn to make it in this life, that was just not going to be the case and how I was going to operate. Right. So again, getting educated. Where are you guys financially? Do you have enough in case, an emergency does happen in the next couple of months? Are you going to be able to survive? Can you pay your bills? Can you pay your car, food, the essentials, And I never really understood when they said, like, you need to be able to have a list at least 6 months to a year in your savings in case something does happen. That really just never used to matter. But again, you get married, you start a family, and you're like, oh shit, like, yes, you do need to make sure there is some money in the reserves, because what happens when an emergency does happen, even if it's something like the pandemic or what we're experiencing right now, et cetera, people are going to be losing their jobs. Are you going to be losing your job? Are you going to be losing your home because you didn't prepare, because you weren't educated financially? So, family, where are you with your family? Do you guys, have issues that you have not been able to resolve? Do you have resentment towards a specific, family member? I have to raise my hand and say, like, I've been there. I've been where my family was all drama, you know? And then you learn again, you learn to forgive these people, you educate yourself, you try to understand why people are doing certain things that may be hurting you intentionally or unintentionally, and then you have to learn to let go. Because if we're living in the past and we're living with drama, truth be told, we're not going to get far. We're not going to get far. I'm very now um very exclusive to the people that we actually do allow into our home, for the same reason, because we do not want to be hanging around with people that have a lot of drama. One thing is having problems, like we all do, and that's part of life, and we're here to help each other out, figure them out. But when it turns into that drama, toxic, like, where it just doesn't even feel good after you're done talking about the situation, the environment is no longer healthy. So, where are you guys with that? Are you guys able to forgive genuinely from the heart? I know that for me, it took a lot of spiritual work to forgive the people that have hurt me the most. It took a lot of work, a lot of mental training, and changing my mindset about those things, because then I'm like, it's not worth it. Why are we going to argue? Why are we, if that person is set in their ways, I'm not going to change them. My job is not to change the way they are, not to change the way they think. If anything, I'm here to assist and to help. But if you don't want my help, that's okay. I'm just not going to engage with you like I probably used to. So it's just like those things, to learning to let go and forgive people and just try to understand and meet them at their level. If people are mean to you, they're disrespectful, they're rude, bless them and move on. Like, you don't have to deal with it. Relationships. Now, this one can be, it can be the relationship you're in with your significant other, with your children, with your friends, just relationships in general. What are those relationships doing for you? Are they turning you into a better person? Are they helping you? Are they motivating you? Or are they draining you? Because if they're draining you, I always hear this. If people are draining you and they're just like toxic all the way around, it doesn't matter who it is, your mom, your dad, you got to cut them. So, in theory, that sounds good. But in real life, at least in my personal case, I wouldn't feel right just ghosting these people, right? Number one, because family to me is everything. So I guess if it didn't have that high of a value to me, then I would just be like, screw it. Even if you're my sister, I don't care. Don't talk to me, or my mom or my dad in general. This is just an example, not that I have that situation with them. But to me, family is everything. Family is like that one and like unit that helps you whenever no one else is there. So it is important to be able to cultivate a nice, healthy relationship, appreciate people, thank them. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at, and I say this all the time, if it wasn't for my family. Like, I could never repay them. Like, if we had to do a dollar amount on how much I owe them for everything they have ever done for me, like, there is no dollar amount that's equivalent to everything they've done. They continue to do, they continue to show up for me. Rain or shine, it doesn't matter what time of day. And I'm just extremely blessed. So I need to make sure that I respond the same way, that I am able to be present for them, that if, someone needs me, I am there. And again, the most important relationship we're going to have besides our family is with us. So in order for us to be okay with everyone else, we want to make sure we are okay with ourselves. Like, how are we treating ourselves? How are we talking to ourselves? What's going up in here? Are we buying into that bogus stuff, like those negative thoughts? No, we don't have room for that. We don't want to allow that to come into our heart, because then that kind of changes everything and how you're going to treat people at the end of the day. Your social life. Um, it is important for you to have a social life. To me, it used to be important. It used to be like a big part of me. But after I got married, and then because of the nature of what I do for a living, I'm really not interested in having a social life outside of my home. I do want to travel and do things, but I feel like I just want to do it with my husband and my kids, or just like my immediate family. I'm not here to mingle with everyone and anyone. Why? Because I mingle for a living, I party for a living, and I love it. So when I do have that time to myself, I just want to hang out. That's my situation. I don't know about yours, but where are you in your social, life and experiences? Um, and those are 8 quick, simple, measurements that you can kind of try to take, or take inventory in your life to measure, like, where are you at? And again, from a scale from 1 to 10, if you don't feel like you're at a 6, I mean, not a 6, because 6, you're kind of like whatever, like kind of not good, but okay, I'm barely making it. But if you're not like at an 8 or a 9, we all should be able to be there. And I wouldn't even say 10, because at 10, that means you're perfect and you're not. So I know I thought I was perfect until I realized, well, Maria, you're probably far from that. But anyway, if you're not at an 8 or a 9, which is a healthy number, then work on it. Work on getting educated. Work on getting your ducks in a row. If you don't know where to start, reach out to someone. I always say, you guys can reach out to me on my social media. You can have my number, even if it's just to listen, not even to give you a piece of advice, just to kind of have someone listen to you, hear you out, so you can hear how you sound and these things that you're saying. And then maybe, get you so that you can get to the next level, and work your way up. But don't settle. Don't settle. Tim said, Maria, you are not chasing your dreams. You are simply answering to what heaven has said about your life. Like, the calling is calling, Maria, and you need to focus and you need to answer. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I really don't know how much time I have on this earth, right? And the fact that I've been thinking about going into the real estate industry for the past 20 years, and it has taken me 20 years to build the courage to finally say, okay, I'm going to go for it. Don't let that be you. Like, if something is already in your heart and you know it, that it's coming from a good place, because I know sometimes we have these feelings and we're like, well, how do we know if it's good, or how do we know it's bad? You're going to know. I still don't even know how to explain it, but you'll know. Just go for it. Oh, well, if it doesn't work out, you got to try, you got to go, you got to continue. You got to just keep going. Whatever your heart says, whatever your desires are, don't sleep on them. Wake up. Time is running out. We are all running out of time. No matter how much freaking money you have, it's not going to buy you an extra day. When you're done, you're done. So let's take advantage of the day that God has given us today, and literally try to be the best that you can. Do everything with your heart, be intentional, help people, because a lot of the times we're always like thinking, well, if I help them and they don't appreciate it, or what if I give them this and they can't pay you back, or what if, just do it from the heart. If you do it from the heart, it doesn't matter if he or she does not appreciate it. It's not your business. Just do it. And the way life works, it will reward you in a way you weren't expecting. And it's going to reward you like 100 times more than whatever you did to that person. I have been doing that more and more lately, where it's just like, just help, don't worry about it. You do it from the right place in your heart, and that's it. Like, you don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to put it on social media. Nobody needs to know. I'll share something with you. So I like to help and I like to donate. And if I see someone is hurting financially, I'll just say, like, listen, give me your Venmo. I've done it where, I need to get to this state and I'm here now and I'm missing this kind of money. Okay, send me your PayPal, send me whatever. I will send something. Sometimes I don't even know these people. I'm donating. I don't know where my money is going to. I'm sponsoring, toys for charities. It doesn't matter. I'm not out there telling the world it's not millions of dollars for sure, but that doesn't mean that it's not coming from the right place. And I won't even take a tax write-off on the donations, the big donations that I do give to the church or to like these nonprofits. And I clearly tell them I don't need it, because when I take that so that I can write it off at the end, it becomes a transaction. I'm not doing it so I can save money at the end and not have to pay more taxes. It doesn't matter. Do it from your heart. And trust me when I tell you that life is just going to be that much more rewarding for you personally. You're just going to be a much happier person, and amazing things are going to start happening to you in your life, even when you may feel like it's falling apart, because it's just the energy you're putting out there, the good wishes, the good vibes that you have for other people. Cheer people on. If you see them trying on social media, everyone wants to start a new business, especially now. In the last couple of years through the pandemic, I'm sure you guys have seen everyone starting a business. Go encourage them, share the product, buy from them, thank them. If whatever, it doesn't matter. Just be a kind, good human being. And don't be mean to people. Why do we have to be like that? Don't be envious of people. If it's going good for them, be happy for them. If it's going that way, that's because they probably put in more work than you. They probably put in more work than me. Why am I going to hate? Just cheer people on. We all want to get recognized. We all want to feel that we're important and that we're making it. Be that person. Be that person to let people know they're doing amazing, that their dreams will become true, that they deserve to be happy, that they deserve everything that God has to offer in this world the same way you do. It just boggles my mind. People have a hard time understanding that concept, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't take away from you. It doesn't, because what's meant to be for you is going to be for you, and no one will take it away. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I really did. I really can't wait to go back on the phone and chat some more with Tim. And I mean, it's just an amazing. So if you don't have a Tim in your life, you need to go find someone to help you, to encourage you, to motivate you, and to help you highlight all those gifts that God has already put into you, that you already have. You just need someone else to kind of help you bring them to light so that you can go and conquer your dreams and do whatever you're supposed to do. And that's it. And that's all. So thank you guys. See ya.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radicals, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.